Good morning. This is Doug Johnston with AARP. I want to thank the over 600 AARP members from across the state of New Jersey who have chosen to join us on this live Tele-Town Hall forum today with our special guest, Newark Mayor Cory Booker, who's going to tell us some very good news about safe and complete streets in the city of Newark that AARP supports and that AARP believes should be adopted more broadly across the state of New Jersey. We're going to learn about complete streets and what that means for you and your families and friends and your communities during this call. I want to encourage the now over 700 AARP members on this call listening. You are open to pose a question to Mayor Booker about what complete streets is and how it might help your local community and how it's working in Newark. Also with us today is Rawle Andrews, the Regional VP of AARP. He's overseeing 8 states, including New Jersey, to ensure the quality of our work. And Rawle, welcome to the call. It's good to see you, sir.
Complete Streets is one of a mastery of initiatives on which AARP is taking part, because this game of life is all about what happens in the second half, because that's when the game is over. And if we don't get the second half right, nothing else really makes sense for our friends and our families. And whether you're talking about Social Security, Medicare, home and community-based services, or this transportation safety issue that we call Complete Streets, nothing is more critical for people who want to age in place than to be able to not just be isolated and essentially shut in at home, but to get out and be a part of the community for as long as they're able to do so.
As I mentioned, our special guest is Newark Mayor Cory Booker, who is sitting with us today. Mayor Booker, we now have over 1,270 AARP members from across the state listening. Could you tell them the good news you have to share about Complete Street?
This to me is an urgent issue. We in the United States of America, as well as here in the state of New Jersey, face a real problem with vehicular pedestrian accidents. The anecdotal stories I've heard about street safety, especially for our seniors in the United States of America and here in New Jersey and here in my city, is troubling. Seniors that feel more and more trapped in their own home because crossing major intersections is more and more difficult for them. Whether it's walking or mobility challenged individuals who might use wheelchairs or scooters, it becomes harder and harder for them to make their way around in streets and intersections that are not safe. And so we feel like we had a responsibility to charge forward from where we were, one of the more dangerous vehicular pedestrian incident cities in America, to where we aspire to be, which is a model for our nation. I'm so happy to join with the leadership of the AARP to talk about this stuff, because it is as great as it is. People should understand fundamentally to create livable cities, to improve the quality of life, to literally save lives. Initiatives like this are imperative in the state of New Jersey. And the reason why I love AARP is because what you said earlier, we're all tired of the partisanship. This is not a partisan issue. It should be a uniting issue in our state and our nation.
Walking is a way of life for Hal Lessig, who works and lives in the Ironbound, a enclave near downtown Newark. But the sidewalks are somewhat narrow and sometimes broken in places, and many crosswalks are not clearly marked, he says. What will Complete Streets do for Hal, who lives in the Ironbound? He's an architect. He wants to continue living there, and he wants to grow old there.
What we're trying to do and are doing, we're making massive investments in all of our wards, but particularly around our transportation nodes, is smoothing out our sidewalks, is doing bump outs for curbs. If you look at Ferry Street now, which leads into the train station, you see those islands that we've put there. So you're going to see continued improvements and investments being made. And what this Complete Streets effort and why it's so important statewide is because once a city like ours adopts that, it enables us to access more federal dollars and more grant dollars to address these pressing issues.
Mayor Booker, we have several people who want you to come to their town and promote Complete Streets, which begs a really important question that AARP wanted to ask you, Mayor Booker, and that is, what would you tell or what would you advise to other municipal officials? Why is Complete Streets good for their local towns?
I never want to see a senior in my city, and I've heard these things, or I want to change this, be isolated in their home because they don't feel safe walking the streets or being able to make it from here to there. Some of the data I've read from even some of the material that this great organization AARP made me realize is that they have anecdotal evidence of people having to take cabs, not long distances, just short distances because they don't feel safe crossing a street, or people who've gotten a ticket before who were for jaywalking because that signal isn't long enough to get them all the way across the street and they get trapped or stranded in the middle with no median, no barrier. Ultimately, in the most densely populated state in the nation, it's critical that we create more of an ease of transportation in this state more than any. The pressure's on for us to help create New Jersey as a wonderful state for getting our large population to and fro. And that just doesn't help individual towns. It's this understanding that I believe, Martin Luther King said this so eloquently in the letters from Birmingham jail, that we're all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a common garment, in a single garment of destiny. And so as New Jersey, these threads of the garment really are our streets and our roads that tie us together. And the more easy we make them, the more the free flow of individuals, of goods and services, of each other, the stronger our state is, and the more vibrant our state is, the more we can all move around, connect with each other, work together. Entertainment, arts, business, culture, all of that happens when we create ease of transportation.
Good morning, Mayor Booker.
Good morning, Jesse. Thanks for calling in.
Welcome. And those of you that do not know me, I'm the mayor of the city of Pleasantville, and I'm also a big proponent of complete streets. Every other month or as needed, I meet with my senior citizens and to discuss some of their concerns or issues. And one of the biggest concerns was pedestrian safety. And it's all about improving the quality of life, and that's what it's all about. And not just the pedestrians, we have the bicyclists. We created bike paths or bike lanes because you see more bicyclists throughout the city now, and we wanted to make sure that their safety was taken into consideration. So I'm a huge proponent of it.
Mayor Booker, I want to report the straw poll results. Only 30% of our respondents said that they feel their streets are safe. And that's a pretty low number, wouldn't you say?
I would love to just know that a senior citizen living anywhere in New Jersey, when they went out and walked, because exercise is so critical, when they decide to walk to the corner store or walk to a park, that they're going to have an experience that accentuates their quality of life and does not detract from it.
Rawle, if you want to make a parting comment, that would be great.
People are starting to see this issue not just locally, not just regionally, but nationally. And I think the more people we can get focused on this, we get away from cost. Everything costs. The question for Complete Streets is, what is the value of the initiative? The value of Complete Streets to the community, to the health of the community, to the welfare and the prosperity of the community, it all starts and ends right here with paving the way to this.
Thank you, Rawle.
Paving the way, no pun intended.
Yes, no, definitely pun intended. Absolutely.
I've enjoyed this. I'm glad I came up here because I'm joining you, Mayor Booker, in the movement to make Complete Streets one of the top priorities of this country.
What would be your pearl of advice that you would give to municipal officials as to why they should support Complete Streets for their local townships, Mayor?
I believe that no matter who you are, you understand that one of the principal ideals of this country is that everybody should be able to retire with dignity, and that the second half, as you say, of your life should be you should end on an exclamation point. You should end on an up point. And so, with your voice in the political process, your voice talking to your town mayors or your town councils, your voice talking to state legislators, and your voice, especially as you said, talking to the federal levels, to make a chorus of conviction around complete streets. If we could have that kind of activism among seniors all over the state, then this is going to become a reality, not just in the city of Newark as a movement, but we'll make this a statewide movement from north to south, from East Jersey to West Jersey. And you, being an individual, not only make your life better, but you'll help to make the lives better of seniors, children, pedestrians of all ages all around the state.